Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions regarding this watch. Today, we're discussing a model launched in honor of the Paris Olympic Games of 2024. It's the Omega Seamaster Diver 300-meter Paris 2024. It features moonshine pale gold and a stainless steel case in a Diver 300-meter package. So 42 millimeters in diameter, 13.7 millimeters thick, 50 on the nose from lug to lug, and with the pivoted end linked to the bracelet, 50 is the total distance across the wrist. It has a lug spacing of 20 millimeters. We're going to throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. This 42 millimeter watch wears fairly well. It's big, but if you could wear the previous generation 41, you can wear this. You see, the 41 featured solid end links, so it wore broader across the wrist. This is a slightly larger and thicker watch, but it's shorter across the wrist because of the pivoted end links. So I'd wear it on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. I used to say 14, but I think 15 is perfectly safe. Again, my wrist is 16. That's what you're looking at here. Taking a look at the bracelet, there have been some changes. You can't see much topside. It looks the same as it's been since the model family was redesigned in 2018. But if you look on the bottom now, you can see that there are these pull tabs that allow you to fairly quickly and easily dismount the entire bracelet. And they pull the pins back so you can easily draw the bracelet out for cleaning in between the lugs, or if you just want to switch to a strap. The reason this is brilliant is because the quick release mechanism is built into the bracelet rather than the case. So the case will still take standard 20 millimeter aftermarket straps. You're not locked into some sort of expensive proprietary solution like you would be with something like, for example, a Cartier Santos. And it's fairly easy to use. You can see even just here, looking through the viewfinder of my phone camera, I'm able to refit that. It's quite secure. So this is brilliant. This gives you more strap options than ever, but it also gives you the convenience of a quick release bracelet. Taking a quick look, you can see that removable links are fixed in place using screws. There is an intermediate link and one of those on either side in case you find yourself in between sizes. Thick gauge, single fold steel swing arm. We've got a couple of different degrees of adjustment in here. We have a push button slider that gives you maybe 9.6 millimeters of incremental adjustment. And then we've got a fold-out dive extension, so you have both adjustability and a big deployant for use over some sort of a wetsuit or a dry suit or even just a thick winter coat. Rolling back around to the case, we have the Helium escape valve. And so this Helium escape valve here is for saturation divers. And what you do is you open it before the one big ascent. So the saturation divers, you can be down for hours, days, maybe even weeks. That one big decompression, helium can build up inside the watch. It's a much smaller molecule than conventional atmosphere and water. So it'll get in, but as you decompress, it needs to be able to get out rapidly. So you open up this valve physically, and then when the internal pressure exceeds external by 2 to 3 bar, the automatic part of the valve will open up and vent the helium so it doesn't blow out your crystal or your seals. The bezel here is 120 click. Let's listen to it. The only shortcoming traditionally on the Diver 300 meter is that the knurling is very shallow. So you want to make sure that you set your dive bezel before your hands get wet. So before you're in the water, you want to do that. But because it's 120 click, it is very precise. You can align it easily with the minute hand. We'll do a loom shot so you can better appreciate this Olympic Games edition at night. And if you look very closely at the luminescent seconds hand, you can see a little Olympic flame as if cast by the Olympic torch. But most important, you can see that it has a loomed seconds hand, so you know if your backup dive timer is running. Not every dive timer, or every dive watch, I should say, has a running seconds hand. They all should have a loomed running seconds hand. This one does. Let me correct that. They don't all have loomed running seconds hands. You should be able to see in the dark if your dive watch is running. Taking a look at the minute hand, you can see that the minute hand and the bezel pearl are both green, so you can always tell them apart from the rest of the dial at a glance. The dial base is made of white ceramic, which has a lot of the advantages of enamel without the fragility or the cost. It won't tarnish, it won't oxidize. It's very resilient, and you can see that the way this is done, it's sort of an inverse of the standard Diver 300 meter dial, where you have these laser-etched recesses that form the waves. Here you can actually see that there are two different finishes. There's polish on the little striations of the wave themselves, and then the base of the dial is actually it's actually in relief. It's lower and it's matte finished. You can see that little Olympic flame right there. You can also see a custom font used for this date disc that you will not find on a standard diver 300 meters. So it has been customized in that regard as well. This is from the family of so-called James Bond Seamasters. So if you remember the diver 300 meter that Pierce wore in the 90s, this is the latest evolution of that style, including the skeleton hands, including the shallow knurling to the bezel, the helium escape valve. Moonshine gold, though, the bezel insert, that's new. And it is a very pale gold. It includes silver, it includes palladium, but it's a yellow gold that is incredibly pale, and so it gives a different aesthetic than conventional yellow gold. Taking a quick look at some of the setting modes, you can see we have hacking seconds. This is not one of the double barrel Omega automatics, so it doesn't have the independently mobile hour hand, but what it does have is the hacking function, and then a quick set system so you can rapidly cycle the date and admire all of those custom fonts. Inside the case, Omega caliber 8800, though you can't see it because this model has a commemorative case back. At gold prices these days, even though this little medallion only has a mass of a few grams, it's probably more expensive to put that in there than to put a sapphire case back on this watch. Yes, we know 300 meters is not exactly 1,000 feet. Just press the I believe button. People ask, what does naiad lock mean? Well, historically, it has something to do with an Omega crown from a long time ago. I could explain it, but it's irrelevant to this application because naiad lock today means that the case back will always align properly top to bottom so that when it's screwed in, it won't be like cockeyed or crosswise or diagonal, for example. We have the Olympic flame, Paris 2024. You can see the 2024 logo, lens, it's 4 and it's 2 to the font used on the date disc, and then the Olympic rings. Omega caliber 8800 inside, automatic winding on ceramic rotor bearings, 55-hour power reserve, hacking seconds, quick set date, master chronometer, tested in 6 positions as a fully cased up watch. Yes, the movement meets the COSC standards, but goes beyond. 6 positions, fully cased up. It's a test of chronometry, water resistance, durability, anti-magnetism, winding efficiency, and power reserve. In terms of anti-magnetism, it is virtually amagnetic to over 15,000 Gauss or 1.5 Tesla. 55-hour reserve, beating away on a single barrel. Beat rate of 25,200 vibrations per hour used throughout swatch group on silicon hairspring movements, which is why you have that quirky beat rate. 35 pivot joules. The watch features a coaxial escapement, the tri-level version, tangential friction rather than the sliding friction of a Swiss lever. Tangential is less. That was the intention of the coaxial's inventor, George Daniels, and the progenitor, probably, if you want to trace it all the way back to the 19th century, I would say Charles Fashold, a German working in the United States, had a very similar idea, but that's a tale for another time. This movement is very tough because it has a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance. All these features in combination mean the watch is very tough, very resilient, and also very precise. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.